Good morning. Thanks for joining us today on the Bitcoin Brew. We're so glad that you're here. We are here today on the Bitcoin Brew, highlighting all things Bitcoin, crypto, and blockchain. I'm Becca, here with my co-host, Amy. And Amy, how's your week going so far?
I had a nice long weekend. Took the kids to the zoo. Had a great time.
Did you hear about the lion or something that got out?
The clouded leopard was apparently somebody cut its enclosure. It was found safe on the grounds of the zoo, thankfully.
Oh my goodness.
And then there was another enclosure that was tampered with. I know. Crazy.
That's scary.
They had a camera and everything at the clouded leopard's enclosure, and they were doing some pieces on us. Like, ooh, should have brought the Bitcoin Brew out here. But I did have some news about a zoo that I wanted to tell you about. Fort Worth Zoo is now accepting cryptocurrency as donations.
That's amazing. That's huge.
Right? They partnered with the Giving Block, which we've seen them partner with Upbring. It's also helping with Upbring child, foster care and placement. So really neat partnership. I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, that's very exciting. A huge shout out to Maddie Parker making moves over there in Fort Worth. So this week in Bitcoin, it's kind of a big week, and we saw Bitcoin hit over 21,650 and 21 cents. If you're putting that in USD, signaling a rebound from the FTX scandal. There's always ongoing conversations surrounding the DCG group on whether or not they'll be able to pull themselves out of this bankruptcy talk with Genesis. So along with that, we saw Galaxy Digital announce that they are acquiring the Helios mining site from Argo Blockchain, which is located in West Texas. So it's a huge site out there. Also, did you know that you can now purchase a Bitcoin mining machine as well as a hardware wallet from Amazon?
Love that.
I know.
They did a bundle deal for us?
They should.
I think so too.
Yeah, get some discounts there. Okay, well, now you can. So it wouldn't be a week in Bitcoin without some kind of bankruptcy, arrest, scandal. So here it is. This week, the founder of cryptocurrency exchange Bitzlato was arrested in Miami on Tuesday. More on that in a moment. So today, we're going to be sharing our opinions on an Amazon partnership with a blockchain company, why Bitcoin is unstoppable, a new subcommittee formed in the House to oversee digital assets, fintech, and inclusion, and who and what is Bitzlato. All right, we are going to roll our intro.
It was announced this week that Amazon Web Services will be integrating Avalanche, a decentralized open source proof of stake blockchain with smart contract functionality. Some distinguishing characteristics of this platform include one validator's message is sent to another's and then another's and another's. Think sort of like a tiny snowflake rolls into a snowball, then becomes an avalanche.
Okay.
It's sort of the metaphor. Let's see. There are 3 chains that are used in Avalanche: X, P, and C. A little bit further, Sohail. Thank you, sir. It uses subnetworks launched by users that can operate with varied rules. So similar to Ethereum 2.0, they use something called a shard, and Polkadot uses something called a parachain. So let's talk about the 3 chains, X, C, and P. The X chain is the default chain that creates and exchanges the assets. C is where the smart contracts are generated. And then P coordinates the validators and manages the subnets. These 3 chains work in tandem to solve the trilemma of the blockchain, which is scalability, security, and decentralization. Amazon operates in over 100 countries, so imagine the exposure here. Avalanche will provide AWS customers with a digital asset management platform, allowing them to create and manage custom tokens on their blockchain. And businesses now may find it easier to launch permissionless blockchains faster and easier if Amazon Web Services becomes an active presence in this market. The token AVAX has seen a healthy jump, 30% since the announcement.
That is significant. 30%. And Avalanche has been around for a while, right?
They're generated by Ava Labs.
Yeah.
They're kind of a brainchild, and some people are calling them the Ethereum killer.
Oh, interesting.
So
I wonder if they're their own blockchain or if they're based on if they're based on Ethereum.
I don't know. I
Probably
should know
not
the
if
answer.
people
I
are
think
calling
it's
them that.
separate.
Yeah.
But good question.
And good job for Amazon getting in the game. I'm kind of surprised that they're just now getting in, though.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where this will go and how it will be applied to users.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, back to all things Bitcoin. As I mentioned earlier, the Bitcoin price reached a little over 21,000 this week. And this is significant because one of the biggest scandals since the inception of the Bitcoin blockchain, FTX, happened about 2 months ago. And obviously, we've seen a huge decrease in price. So this was kind of a crazy event to see it jump over 20,000. Everyone was very happy about that, just signaling that we're on the up and up, that nobody can take it down. All right. So 2022 is obviously a horrible year for all things crypto, especially Bitcoin. And Texas is leading the way on the rebound of that. All right. So here are a few reasons why I can say that with all the confidence in the world that Bitcoin is important and it's here to stay, and that Texas is leading the way. So the Texas Work Group on Blockchain Matters emphasized in the report the importance of Bitcoin adoption in the U.S. and specifically Texas. So this may sound kind of repetitive because I've talked about it a lot. I know we've mentioned it a lot on the show, but it's actually like such a huge development because everything on the state level influences the federal level. So we're going to talk about this more later in the show, but Texas politicians are being educated on the importance of the Bitcoin network. Texas is home to the majority of all the Bitcoin miners in the world. Global Bitcoin adoption is just getting off the ground. And a few weeks ago, I think we have a graphic for this, but at the Miss Universe pageant, Miss El Salvador dressed up as a Bitcoin.
Stunning.
Did you see this?
Stunning.
Did
yes.
you watch the pageant?
No, I try
Okay,
not to
yeah.
watch the pageants, but I did see her all over the Twitterverse.
Yes, there was there's endless memes, but honestly, I thought it was a joke at first, but then I was like, oh, okay, that's actually pretty cool. It's highlighting Bitcoin, but anyway. Yes. Okay. And Nigeria, of course, is soaring with increased adoption in several use cases there. Even permissionless, which has absolutely nothing to do with Bitcoin and is completely separate. They're focused on DeFi, but they're moving from, I think, Florida to Austin for their like massive conference this year, which I thought was kind of cool. They're trying to jump on that bandwagon. So anyway, Bitcoin allows you to be a sovereign individual. And I think once you get a taste of that, it's hard to go back. Once you see it, it's really hard to unsee it.
I totally agree with you, Becca. And I'm so happy that we're on this upswing. Yeah. And try as I might, I couldn't find one particular event that occurred that caused the increase. I mean, do you have any hunches about why we saw this in such a short time?
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they said that at the 20K benchmark, a lot of people had their account set up to hey, purchase Bitcoin if it gets to this amount or whatever. And so maybe that kind of signaled a jump because it only went to 21.6. It's not that much of a jump, but it's still on a positive uptrend. So I know there's all these conspiracy theories out there about why, but I don't know. I think it's just part of the market.
I agree. I mean, I have to agree with you. You're the expert here.
No, I'm not.
You're my go-to expert. And some people are saying, is this a bull run? Is this a bull trap? I mean, do you know the difference? Because I
don't actually.
I guess the run would be it just keeps continuing on an upward swing, whereas a trap would be it hits a certain threshold and then drops back down potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I think with news that Genesis might be going bankrupt, maybe that was already priced in, or we might see it go down some more if that does, unfold. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, honestly, who knows?
It's always a roller coaster ride.
Always.
Let's transition back to some policy here. Subsequently, after Republicans took the majority of the House, a subcommittee on digital assets, financial technology, and inclusion was set up. And at the helm is Representative French Hill. He is a Republican out of Arkansas. District 2 was set as the chair. The vice chair of the subcommittee will be Representative Warren Davidson. He's a Republican out of Ohio who has also been active on crypto issues. The subcommittee's jurisdiction will cover the following 3 areas: providing clear rules of the road among federal regulators for the digital asset ecosystem, developing policies that promote financial tech and to reach underserved communities, and lastly, identify best practices and policies that continue to strengthen diversity and inclusion in the digital asset ecosystem. French Hill did some digging. He's been a member of the House since 2014. He served as a commercial banker and investment manager in Little Rock. He served as executive secretary to President Bush's Economic Policy Council. So knows his way around some traditional finance. 2021, he co-sponsored a bill that required the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System to study the potential impact of a U.S. central bank digital currency, CBDC, calling it important work. And I found this quote I wanted to share. He said this: "I look forward to working with my colleagues to ensure the U.S. dollar remains the world's reserve currency and that any U.S. CBDC assures that adequate privacy and security protections are in place and that private sector innovation leads the way." So here in Texas, we are not open to a U.S. central bank CBDC. In fact, the TBC has a resolution in direct opposition to it in this session. With Congress and the House being split, I don't see a lot of headway happening here from a federal level, but I do expect Texas to take a strong stand on this issue.
Yeah, I think you'll talk to any Bitcoiner and they'll say, they'll give you a long list of reasons why CBDCs can't happen, shouldn't happen, won't happen. But I think that's cool that they're working on the working on the committee. I wonder if I'm assuming it's all Republicans on the committee. I mean, I know Warren Davidson and French Hill are, but
yes,
are there others on the committee?
Not that I know of, but I didn't dive much deeper into who else is on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, I'm assuming it's all Republican. Sounds like a very conservative group, but yeah. Everybody brings their own opinion, and I think it's good to put out there on the table. But I do hope that they can bring in some people from across the aisle to work together, because CBDC really does align being anti-essential bank digital currency aligns with both parties once you dig into it a little bit deeper. So, we'll see where that goes.
This was kind of an interesting experiment in looking into representatives and senators and whatnot and trying to figure out where they stand from a crypto perspective. There's actually like a rating scale of not crypto-friendly to very crypto-friendly. And this guy, French Hill, registered high. However, after some digging and looking into his CBDC work, it's like you've got to find those individuals that align with what your values are.
Sure. Yeah. It's very interesting. Along with the political sphere going on here, we saw, I don't know, were you on Twitter yesterday?
Oh my goodness.
Was there one word that kept popping out?
Over and over again.
Was it Bitzlato?
That was it.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yesterday, the cryptosphere was buzzing with questions regarding Bitzlato. Of course, everyone was saying they had never heard of it, but what is this thing? And then the DOJ made a very grand announcement about it. So basically, Bitzlato is known for being a means of monetary transfer, basically money laundering, using cryptocurrencies. So kind of, I think the DOJ had been following them for a long time because of the ransomware attacks. I want to say the state of California or something had been hacked, and they whoever did it used this company. So they'd been on the radar for 3 or 4 years, but they're so small that this is why no one's ever heard of them. It's because it's very few people had ever basically just criminals had been using it. So I really do hope for the best that not very many people knew about this. So they made this big announcement, and I don't know if maybe they're trying to scare other protocols, or hey, we're even if we don't talk about it, we're following you. It's kind of a big deal though.
Yes, it was. They were really they were really promoting that they were making the announcement. I think everybody was sort of on
Right.
pins and needles there for a little bit. Like, who are they going to expose? What's going to happen?
Right. And it was based in Hong Kong. So I don't know if maybe he like flew over here. I don't know. It was in Miami. So Reuters reported the firm has processed 4.58 billion worth of cryptocurrency transactions since May 3rd, 2018. So they've been following them for over 4 years. The good news is that the founder was arrested. I already said that. Just reading at this point. Okay. So the founder was arrested. It's good. That's good. He's going to be taken care of. All right. So I think our takeaway from all this is that everything stays on the blockchain. Can't hide from it,
No,
even if you think you can.
everything is trackable, traceable. I wonder how long, like, do we know anything about this founder? I saw he could potentially get 5 years, which just sort of seems like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, who knows, like, what all is involved. Maybe he took a plea deal or something like that. I don't know. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on the show today. We're always so glad that you're here. You can find us on Instagram at bitcoin.brew or follow us on Twitter. I'm Ray Bay Becca and Amy is TBC Amy. Give us a like, follow, and any comments that you have about the show. We'd love to hear them. Thanks for watching.
If you want to be part of the future that we are crafting here in Texas, join the TBC today.
Thanks for watching the Texas Blockchain Council. We've got more videos, more great content, and we are a nonprofit. So if you could send your Bitcoin here, this is my personal wallet address. And don't ask me for my seed phrase.